Ethereum, the currency of culture. Hundreds, if not thousands of decentralized applications, a thriving NFT ecosystem, millions of users, but one big problem. Today, that's what we're talking about. So as always, let's get straight to it. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Wajahat, and today we're going to focus on the one big problem that I think a lot of people have with Ethereum. I think we all know what it is: gas fees. For those of you who don't know what gas fees are, every time you do any sort of transaction or interaction on the Ethereum blockchain, you have to pay a fee. It's called a gas fee, and it's a fee that goes directly to Ethereum miners who help to validate and support the network. Gas prices are measured in a subunit of Ethereum called Gwei. The higher the Gwei, the higher the gas price. Now, a few years ago when I first started using Ethereum, gas prices weren't that bad. Sometimes you'd pay between $1 and $5 for your transaction to go through. Now, for some people, that is still quite a lot of money. I think it is. But since then, gas prices have just gone in one direction only, and that's up. Nowadays, even if you wanted to do a simple transaction on an exchange like Uniswap, you're looking at paying at least $100 just to do your transaction. In fact, these gas fees have often gone so high that even myself, I've had to pay $500 just to get a transaction on Uniswap done. $500! And guess what? One time, it even failed. I had to pay another $500, $1,000 down the drain. This gas fee isn't just for doing swaps on Uniswap. If I want to send you some Ethereum, I have to pay a gas fee. If I want to mint an NFT, I have to pay a gas fee. If I want to buy one on OpenSea, again, I have to pay a gas fee. Gas fees are everywhere, and if you really want to transact on chain, there's no way of avoiding them. You have to pay them. The question then is, why are gas fees so high? Let me try and help you appreciate why these gas fees are so high. Now, imagine if you and me were just stood there waiting for a bus, and every 1 second a bus comes. That bus only has 15 seats, but alongside me and you, there are 100,000 people waiting to get on this bus. So who's going to get on the bus? Well, it's whoever pays the most. All of us are competing with one another to pay for a seat on that bus. And remember, there's only 15. Ethereum transactions work in a similar way. Unfortunately, Ethereum can only handle a very small number of transactions per second. In fact, it's around 15. So every second, only 15 transactions can be processed and validated properly. As a result, everyone using the Ethereum blockchain is constantly competing with one another in order to get their transaction through. And whoever pays the most gets the seat on the bus. What that means is that during times of high congestion, especially when there's a lot of activity going on, such as an NFT mint, well, activity is super high, and as a result, gas fees skyrocket. The thing is, even when congestion is lowered, such as during the middle of the night, gas fees are still pretty high. You're still looking at paying between $80 to $100+ just to do transactions on Ethereum. It is just too much. How can any normal person be able to afford $100 for every transaction? Ethereum at its current infrastructure just hasn't been scaled enough in order to enable the masses to come. And it's a real shame because I think there's so many amazing applications on the Ethereum blockchain that just so many newcomers to crypto just can't use just because of the barrier to entry being cost. It's one of the reasons why the layer 1 narrative over the last year has just exploded. Just look at alternative chains like Solana, Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, Phantom, Harmony, even Terra. All of these chains have truly exploded just because it's easy to transact, it's cheap, and that means you can actually do stuff. Why would you pay $100 to do a transaction on Ethereum when you can do a transaction on Terra for like 10 cents or 20 cents? It just makes sense, doesn't it? Now, it's important to understand that these alternative layer 1s have sacrificed in security in order to enable scalability. We are yet to really find a true balance, and as a result, I think things need a lot of improvement all round in crypto. For the time being, however, newcomers or people with lower amounts of capital just cannot use Ethereum for what it was built for. DeFi strategies are pretty much rendered useless for them at the moment, and that's because unless you're playing around with at least 5 to 6 figures, well, the gas fees will just eat up all of your profits. But hey, isn't Ethereum 2.0 going to solve this? Ethereum 2.0 is bringing the transition of the consensus model, which is currently proof of work, and changing it to proof of stake. And currently you can stake your Ethereum using platforms like Lido Finance already. But it's also bringing something else, and that's called sharding. Sharding is a form of data partitioning which enables blocks to be broken down into smaller, more manageable blocks that are easier to process and more efficient for the chain as a whole. This decreases the workload needed for each validator because instead of having to validate the entire blockchain, they only need to focus on individual shards. Hopefully, this helps with scaling Ethereum and also improving the transactions per second. The issue is that we don't even really know when sharding is coming to Ethereum. It could be this year, it could be next year, who really knows? The other issue is, how do we know if it's going to adequately scale Ethereum to the level that we all need? I guess only time will tell. Now there is something available right now that is helping with Ethereum and its scaling problem, and it's called Rollups. Rollups are a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, and to put it simply, they take transactions off the main Ethereum network, roll or bundle them up in multiple transactions in one go before they are then processed. This data is then compressed so that it can be stored on the main layer 1, and that means that you've got the same security that you would have if you were just using the normal Ethereum mainnet. There are two main types of rollups. You've got optimistic and you've got ZK rollups. Optimistic rollups assume all transactions are valid and they then submit batches without producing any computation at all. This leads to significant improvements in scalability. Now you might think that this isn't secure, but they enable a challenge period during which anyone can challenge the legitimacy of the data in that particular batch. Essentially, optimistic rollups assume that everyone using the network is acting with good faith. ZK, which stands for Zero Knowledge Rollups, are slightly different. Zero Knowledge Rollups generate cryptographic proofs that can be used to prove the validity of a bunch of transactions in one go. This ensures a significant data reduction, and that means lower time and lower cost for validating every transaction. These rollups are still in their infancy, but I think this year we will see some big development with them. Time will tell, of course, and I do have some plans to make some videos about them, and especially how we can use them right now in order to do our normal things that we'd like to do on the Ethereum network. Stay tuned for them. Anyway, I think crypto is on the brink of becoming completely mainstream. In a world where there's 4 billion smartphone users compared to only 10 million active MetaMask users, we need a 400x increase to handle what's coming. Right now, for most people entering crypto, Ethereum is pretty much unusable. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with another video soon.